How's it going? We're going to talk about guerrilla personal branding. So if you want to learn how to build a personal brand, how to build an audience fast and build a strong credibility for yourself, then listen up. So I've been doing a lot of marketing for many years, and now this is the first whack at personal branding. And I've already got a really good idea though about how to do it. So basically it all starts first. You get an email and you get your website. Your website should probably be your name or something related to your name or something that you actually feel driven to build, your brand. It's something that's going to mean something someday, and that you have a lot of motivation and gusto, and not something that you're just going to toss away. That's kind of why I recommend getting your name, because you're always going to have your name. You're not always going to have, einsteinmarketing.com or whatever, and really have the passion and motivation. And you can also pivot if it's your name, whereas if you lock it into a certain industry or a certain title, then you can't. It's a little bit harder to pivot. You can always still pivot, but so first you get your email, you get your fucking domain, and then you build what's called a syndication, I guess IFTT, what do they call it, a syndication web is what I would call it. But what I'm saying is you'll have your website, right? And then you're going to link out, you're going to have all these other social media accounts: Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube. There's ones that I don't even really know yet, but like TikTok, LinkedIn, all of them. You're going to get them all set up on an IFTT network. IFTTT network. So you go to ifttt.com and you start building one of these. And what it does, it stands for if this then that. So then whenever you create quality content and you post it out, it's going to send it to every single one of these different social media accounts, and it's going to start building your presence on the web. Okay, so you're just going to build an IFTTT network to begin with. That way, not only is your brand just ready to go, but whenever you syndicate something or whenever you send something out on the web, it's going to leave a big footprint. Whereas if you just were posting one thing a day or into one Instagram or whatever, it's not quite going to have the same effect. And if you make sure that you link to your website and all of this stuff, your website's going to get a lot more credibility, a lot more links, and Google is going to start understanding what you're doing. So the whole point of the syndication network is, number one, it's going to help you reach a lot more people right away. Number two, it's going to help you rank in SEO and things like that. And number three is it's just good to have because you're going to have a lot more presence on the web. Okay, so you build the syndication network. Next, you're going to go into keyword research. Now, when you're building a personal brand, what you should do is look up 1, 2, or maybe 3 max words that you want people to recognize and associate with you. Okay, you're going to find these words, and a lot of the times a lot of words have a lot of high competition, but you're going to have to do something called keyword research. You can, the easiest way is just get a plugin for your website called Keywords Everywhere. And when you get Keywords Everywhere, it's going to show you exactly how many searches there are for that word that you want to come up for every single month, right? And then also how many pages there are in Google that you're going to be competing against. But it doesn't necessarily matter, but it is better to find keywords that have fewer pages and lots of volume, obviously. But you want to come up with ideas of words that you want to rank for. Like, say you want to be a consultant for small businesses. So then you look up small business consulting, and that's going to be a keyword phrase that you're going to go after for a long time, for a lot of work. And then once you have that word, you're going to break that word down into 100 different blog topics, 100 different things that you can talk about. And I'll probably have to make a video about this, but you'll pick the keyword, and then just underneath the keyword it's going to have other things that people are searching to get that, and you're going to make a video about each one of those. And then you're going to take your keyword and you're going to plug it into Ubersuggest, you're going to plug it into SEMrush, you're going to go to a website called Ask the Public, right? And then with Ask the Public, it's going to tell you all these different questions that people are asking, and you're going to make a video for each one of these different things. And not only is this going to make you become a credible authority, but it's also going to do an incredible work for your SEO, and you're going to start ranking for the word small business consultant right away. Fucking people. But the main thing when you're building this brand is to start getting an audience, start building an audience, but you don't just want any audience. A lot of people think they do, but you want a very specific niched audience for you, because whatever you're going to be doing in the future, you're going to be able to communicate better with your audience. You're going to be an authority figure. You're going to be a guide for them, you know. The next thing, basically, after you have done your keyword research, is you're going to come up with your brand story. Now, with your brand story, I'll have to do a whole video on this, but you want to stand out, you know. And people don't always remember facts, but they always remember stories, and they remember how the story made them feel. And when you're building your brand story, what you're going to want is you're going to put yourself, you know, as just a regular person, just like everybody else. You're going to go through some like horrific, or not horrific, but you're going to have a problem. There's going to be a villain. You're going to come to the point where you have a villain just like everybody else, except for you're going to find a guide that helped you overcome and defeat that villain, right? And then you're going to flip the script, and you're going to say, I am now a guide to help you defeat this villain so that you can become like me, or so that you can become like my brand, or so that you can use my brand to help you overcome your personal villains. And then you're going to make the people the hero of your story, because you're going to be showing them how they can use your brand, and they can associate your brand with being the hero and being the guide, you know. Because when you're building a brand story, it's really not about you, it's about them. Because when they come to your website, if it's all about you, they don't care, but if it's about them, they do care. Does that make sense? So I'll make another video about branding and building a brand story, but the story is very important. Okay, so then now you're gonna have about 100 different things that you can talk about for your keyword that you're gonna be going for, and then you're gonna be able to have a brand story that you're going to be able to plug in to each one of these things, and you can tell them a little bit more about yourself. Because really what you're doing when you're making these videos is you're connecting to your audience on a deeper level. Because once you start getting in the back of your audience's mind with your story or who you are, people will start to wonder about you. People will start putting you into random things inside their mind, and they'll be more likely to associate you with that keyword and your story. And whenever they have a similar story, or whenever they are going through something, they'll be more likely to come to you as a resource, as an avid guide for you, so you can help them change their lives. Now, I might have just gone off on a tangent, but I hope you're still with me. So we're building a personal brand, right? Now, once you've done this keyword research, and I'll make a video on how to do that, you're going to have all these different questions, and you're going to have to do a lot of research, and you're going to have to write down your answer, and you're going to have to figure out what it is you're going to say. But once you do that, what you're going to do is you're going to start making videos. And I know some people don't like videos, but it's 2019. You know, blogs are kind of old and they're saturated. Podcasts are really great, but this is why you're going to make a video. Okay, so when you make the video, you're going to be able to not only cut the video up and have a lot of different content, basically, but you're also going to be able to take the audio from the video, and you're going to be able to have the video translated into words, into text. So you're going to be able to have a video, you're going to have an audio or podcasts or something that you'll be able to send to people, and you're going to have a written blog, so that the words that you're saying in your video are going to become useful for your SEO. Right? So you're going to phrase your videos, so you're going to answer a question, and then you're going to answer it with a video, and then the video is going to be able to become a podcast. Your video is going to be able to become a video, a podcast, and a blog. That's what I'm trying to get at. And you can do this really easily by going to like rev.com or something like that. And no, rev.com. That's what you do. You'll put your video there. You spend like $10 or $2, and your video is going to be able to boom, boom, boom. You already got content, so you don't have to do a bunch of writing unless you want to. And it's good to be a writer. It's good to put out written content, especially if what you're good at. But I recommend you make videos, because then you can have all three, and just like that, without doing a shit ton of work and without losing your mind, and still being able to do your regular daily-to-day things. And you're gonna just keep pumping out this content. Watch Gary Vee or watch any of the other people, and they're just producing content at a super high level. And right now is a great time to do it, because the internet is growing like never before, and everybody knows how to use it. But it is also getting kind of saturated and you really want to get into the market and you want to get into the game now. So when you're making these videos, make sure they're high quality, make sure you're answering questions, and then basically what you're going to be doing is you're going to be pumping these out. And what you really want to do is come up with a schedule. And your schedule should look something like this. Like every day you're going to make a video, but what you really want to do is, number one, you want to poke them in the heart, then you want to poke them in the head. And then, like, what I mean by that is when you make a content video that really appeals to people's heart and how they think or what they feel, like their feelings. You want to connect with them somehow, and you want to start a discussion, and then you want to connect to how they think. And that's another thing. Like, go over the keywords, but you can also make these. But this is just a schedule of what I think people should be doing. You should be doing, heart, head, and then maybe talk to them about finance, or about how you might be selling something in the future, the jab, jab, right hook type of deal. But it's not about monetizing really right away, because you really just want to build an audience. And if you're just trying to sell shit to people, they get turned off. So I'm really going to try and not do the freemium model, but wait till I'm going to give my best content to everyone, and then someday, hopefully it'll work out and I'll be able to monetize it or something. But I mean, I have a lot of businesses. You can go to thewoodcarvers.com and support the channel by buying my art. Boom, right away. It's already what I do. But what I'm trying to get at is you want to make connections. So that's the whole point of building a personal brand, is you want to be everywhere with your syndication network and with your content, and then you want to be connecting to your audience. You want to be starting conversations, and every time somebody comments on any of your stuff, you want to comment back and you want to start a conversation with them. That's another thing. So it's really important once you start building, like once you have at least like 10 to 20 quality content episodes, you're going to start really hammering on some SEO stuff. Like if you're trying to make a podcast, what you're going to do for a podcast is what I recommend is you make at least 10 episodes, you put it all out there in one podcast, and then you release it. Because if you have more than one episode and if you're new on the podcast, then iTunes might be able to pick you up and put you in the new and up and coming category where you'll really get a lot of downloads. And then what you want to do is you want to text every single one of your friends and family that are close to you to give you a review on your podcast, and to actually write something out, as well as on your videos and maybe even on your blog. But don't ask like your Facebook friends or whatever, like physically text everyone you know, mom, dad, sister, brother, uncle, cousin, best friends, to actually go onto your channel and give you a real review, so that you can start pumping yourself up in the in Google, in iTunes and everything. Because when you have actual reviews, that's how the search engines and algorithms understand that you're a real thing and you're having user experience is good. And if it's a good user experience, then they're gonna pump you up more. So that's like phase 2. But you want to stay consistent. That's really what you want. You want consistent building of your brand, and you plug away every day. And that's pretty much how you start guerrilla marketing your personal brand. Because after you have, first you'll go from like 10, and then once you have like 50, then I would start really paying for ads. And I'll make a whole video on how you can start paying pennies for videos, people to watch, and you'll get real watchers and real subscribers, and you'll pay nothing pretty much for it. Pay like $5 a month, and you'll start getting tons and tons of subscribers and tons of views using YouTube, and then also using Facebook, and as well as LinkedIn. And then we'll have to do another video also on how to build your website so that it converts, and how you do copywriting. But that'll be for another time. This is just a basic intro, I guess, into guerrilla personal branding and what I'm doing, and I'd like you to come along with the journey with me. And I really think you should start a personal brand too. Please feel free to contact me. Check out my website, robertrlyon.com. Thank you. Bye.